course, I'm Jenna Wolf. That is the Hall of Famer Cris Cater. This is Nick Wright. It is a Thursday morning here in New York City. You guys look great, feel great.
Absolutely, love your hair today, Jenna Wolf.
Thanks, I'm going curly. I love yours, especially, with a little more growing there. On the program today, why is LeBron James ticked off at Kevin Durant? Was Baker Mayfield's Sunday stare down out of line? And what is the latest with Tom Brady's injury, non-injury? Let us start right there. It was not long ago we were discussing the five-time Super Bowl champion playing until he was 45. But with a rumored MCL injury, an arm that seems to be deteriorating, and just a week left in a season surrounded by question marks, it looks like Father Time might just be catching up to Tom Brady. But if you ask the 41-year-old yourself, there's no question he'll be back in 2019.
I absolutely believe I will. I know I've talked about it for a long time. You know, I have goals to play not only next year, but beyond that. And I'm going to try to do it as best I possibly can. I'm going to give it everything I have, like I always have. It'll certainly be a challenge. I don't take any of these things for granted, but I hope I can keep playing. I hope I can keep playing at a championship level. I'm feeling really good, Jim. It's been 15 weeks of football, and there's always bumps and bruises you deal with, but I'm feeling great for this time of year. I'll take it every year to be feeling as good as I am at this time in the season.
So Tom Brady saying he does feel really good, did not deny the MCL injury, important to note. Steve, what was your reaction to all of what Tom Brady had to say?
It was great. In the last couple of years, Tom Brady has given us insight that we typically don't get as far as great players, their involvement, what they do as far as their with their body, what they do in their off time, things that we just don't or aren't allowed to see. He's given us that of late, and I believe him that he said he wants to play into his mid-40s. I don't know why that would have changed if he had had 4,500 yards or 3,500. Bill Belichick, he's always been consistent. We're going to go year to year. At the end of the year, we're going to evaluate it. But Tom said some things that are very, very important, things that are beyond money. He realizes that going out there and being a part of a football team is very, very rewarding. It's just not about the wins and the losses. It's about his life. It's about him being able to push himself, to have an actual goal week in and week out, and to be going at that goal with a bunch of teammates that he enjoys going to work. And when you get to a certain point as far as your career, you've been very, very successful. The ability to be able to get in your car, drive where you want to, and go to a place that you're happy with, that's beyond money. So when Tom Brady keeps talking about that, I enjoy doing what I'm doing, and I know there's going to be very few things as rewarding as the accomplishments that he accomplishes as a player. Yeah, we do other things. You're involved in businesses. You're involved in your kids' lives, but they are not like being a star in the NFL. And he realizes the power of it and the drive that it takes to do it, that I look for Tom Brady to play another couple years. As long as he doesn't get injured, what he has there with the Kraft family and Belichick is very, very special. And you don't have to bring this to Tom's attention for him to know that. He realized that, and I'm glad he was able to talk about it and express it.
I'm not surprised at all that Brady still wants to continue to play, that Brady still wants to play. He has said 45. And so until he changes that, that would mean that 4 more years going on from this one. I'm going to assume that's what he wants. I also think, as we are people that watch and appreciate Tom Brady, but also evaluate Tom Brady, we have to start looking at him through the prism of it would appear, onto a different part of his career, a part of his career where he can channel greatness for individual moments, but he is not consistently great over a 16 and what he would want a 19 or 20 game season. Wait, are you saying he's moving
into that, or he's currently in that
He's
phase?
in that right now.
Okay.
I think right now he is, I think this year he has shown us he is in the phase of still a really good player. But last year he was the league MVP. So, I mean, the drop-off between league MVP and really good player is a significant one. And if history tells us anything, even though Tom Brady has held it off better than any quarterback we've seen, that once that deterioration does come, it doesn't stop.
Right.
You don't all of a sudden bounce back up. I've talked about the part of Brady's career that didn't make sense to me was the last 5 years, because the deterioration came and then he reached heights we had never seen from him before, aside from maybe that 2007 season. But I don't think you're going to have that same bounce back now that he's into his 40s.
The one thing that I wouldn't want to overreact to is if we look at the last 4 or 5 MVPs in the league. Let's look at them. Let's look at who they might be. You know, that being
Brady, Ryan, Cam, Brady, Rodgers, Brady.
Yeah, look at all their stats. Now, the reason why Tom Brady's more significant is because he's 41. But look at all their stats. Matty Ice, has he gotten back to that level? No. What about Cam? No. What about Aaron Rodgers? No. So saying that, yeah, he was the MVP, and yes, he is 1 year older, but all the other MVPs the last several years. So I just want to make sure that I'm fair to Tom, and I still give him an opportunity because if that offense is tinkered with, if he has more consistent play outside, if Gronk had been healthy, is it the surroundings or is it Tom Brady's age? To me, I believe it is a combination of he lost his left tackle. All right? He's lost a number of other key ingredients that has had his play suffer also.
But hasn't Tom Brady also earned, I don't know, a crude experience where he could get the benefit of the doubt a little bit, that maybe a year where someone else was playing the way he's playing, they don't stay in, that he gets to play out the year, he gets to play out 2 years?
I know Belichick might not feel this way. I feel like Tom Brady gets to decide his own exit plan. I feel like whatever you feel like Tom Brady's expiration date is, he gets to add another full year to it, if not more. I mean, damn, Eli Manning seems to have earned that. What has Tom Brady earned then with 8 Super Bowl appearances, 5 championships, as good of a statistical resume as any quarterback
Except that you have
ever.
Bill Belichick there. Would he also subscribe to that?
Well, I don't know that he will, but I do know this. If they don't have an heir apparent, that guy's playing in San Francisco. Well, he's not even playing in San Francisco. He's living in San Francisco, waiting to play. Like, they haven't, even if Belichick was seeing some of the writing on the wall that I'm seeing, what's he going to do? Like, what is the plan for the Patriots other than number 12?
And this is one of the things I love about the NFL compared to some of the other leagues. Because in baseball, you know, you can play a year or two well beyond as we know you as a player. Because you're not going to get hurt. NBA, man, you could be the 12th guy, you could be the 13th guy, man, you could play a few minutes, be the 10th guy. They can protect you. You're not going to get hurt. In the NFL, the thing I love is, yeah, Tom Brady might have earned that, but he's not going to get it because it's the NFL. Like, they can't protect you. If you look at all of our great players, how'd they get out of the game?
They got knocked out.
They got knocked out. So Tom Brady, what's going to happen to him? He's going to get knocked out of the game just like the rest of them. That's one thing I try to communicate to players. That's the one thing we all have in common. One day, man, you got to go. One day they're going to slide your nameplate off, slide someone else's nameplate in there, and someone, for the most part, not Tom Brady, someone's going to be wearing your jersey, and it's going to be time to move on. That's retirement in the NFL. So Jerry Rice, did he play a couple years beyond the Jerry Rice? Yeah, of course he did, but he was a shell of himself. He got knocked out of business. John Elway got knocked out of business. Dan Marino got knocked out of the business. I hope Tom Brady doesn't. But that's what happens in the NFL.
And Elway might be the one exception, right? Because of the way he left. Like, his play was...
If you know football, you know John Elway got knocked out of the business. John Elway could not run anymore. John Elway wanted to continue to play, but he couldn't. He did not have the legs to be able to play any longer, and that was a defensive dominated and a running football team.
No doubt. He just got to leave it at his moment of highest glory, even if he wasn't the player that was going to the Super Bowls in the 80s and early 90s based on his arm. It was more based on the team around him.
Wasn't that what Peyton did too?
Well, Peyton, it was odd because Peyton, we know, that was obvious. Peyton was totally different. He got benched, came back. But I'm glad you mentioned Peyton Manning because Tom Brady's obviously not in the phase Peyton was in his last year of his career, the year they did win a Super Bowl. But he might be in the phase Peyton was in that second to last year. Like, look at Peyton's second to last year. We broke it up into 3 segments. Those first 7 games, he was amazing. 119 rating, 22 touchdowns, 3 picks. The next 5, he was pretty good. 95 rating, 14 touchdowns, 6 picks. Those last 5, including a home playoff loss to Indy, he was bad. And then the next year, he was awful enough that he got hurt, and then he got benched, and then they put him in for Osweiler. So for Peyton, it came like this. It went from record-setting season, league MVP, a really good year, amazing start to a year, to washed like that. I'm not saying that Brady is washed. He obviously isn't. But for Peyton, one of the greatest ever, it came within a season out of nowhere. You can't say that Tom Brady is immune to that. Nobody's immune to that.
All right, from one superstar to the next. Coming up, has LeBron James and Kevin Durant's relationship become toxic? That's next on First Things First.